Welcome back to another market update video on the channel. Today, I'll be giving you my thoughts on the overall market. We are seeing a bit more green in the crypto market right now. I'll be letting you know my thoughts on whether this is going to be sustained going forward and we're going to be making new all-time highs, or whether this is just a fake move to the upside and we are going to be coming lower in the near future. So I'll be discussing all of that in today's video. I'll also be showing you an altcoin, which I think looks very strong right now, and why I would be picking it as one of the heavy bets in my portfolio. So if that sounds interesting, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the VIP group linked in the description as well if you want to see when I'm buying and selling, and if you want a 24/7 active Discord community where you get personal portfolio reviews, you get private live streams, market updates, and all of that good stuff. So check it out if you're interested. So we look at the Bitcoin chart here. You can see Bitcoin is starting to get bullish again. It's breaking out to an extent. It's at 87.6K right now. And the overall structure is looking a bit more bullish. Okay, you're seeing more of a higher high, higher low form on the chart. You can see the low here we put in at 76K. It does look like quite a while away now. It does look like it's quite a significant drop down if we were to go back to those levels. So it's not necessarily by any means likely or a guarantee, but I think we are still not necessarily out of the woods yet in terms of kind of chop, in terms of consolidation. Okay, I'm not arguing here that Bitcoin is just going to all of a sudden go to an all-time high in the next couple weeks. I don't necessarily think that is the case. I do think Bitcoin will put in a higher high at some point this year, but I still think we've maybe got a bit more short-term pain and chop to go. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a lower low. That could just mean that Bitcoin comes up to 91, sees a rejection, and then comes back down maybe again to the 80K level or something, okay? We don't know exactly. We don't have a crystal ball, but I don't feel like we are ready in the market right now to just all of a sudden boom to all-time highs and everyone gets rich. I still think there is a few unanswered things in the economy. We still haven't got a rate cut yet, and we still have tariffs coming in. We just have news coming in here that Trump sets April 2nd for the new reciprocal tariffs. Auto, semiconductor, pharma duties likely excluded. Okay, so we've got a few industries here excluded, but it is expected that Trump will reintroduce new tariffs, reciprocal tariffs, on April 2nd. Okay, so this is something which is pretty important. This market right now is very much driven off the macro. It's driven off tariffs. It's driven off inflation. It's driven off rate cuts. And we still have tariffs coming into place. And, we still haven't even got a rate cut yet. So I still think there could be a bit of chop in the market, a bit of consolidation. But it's certainly good to see the market recovering a bit, because it was at a very dangerous point back when it was around, the mid 70s. Now, I actually outlined on this chart some zones to look at. Okay, we've got here like a zone I'd be looking at for a point of breakout where, even if you're heavy in cash, you probably want to be entering the market at this point, because there's a good chance Bitcoin will be creating a higher high, right? If Bitcoin gets above kind of 91K and then this money flow point of control here around 95K, 94K, whatever it is, you probably want to be re-entering the market even if you are in cash, because there's going to be a great breakout trade there. There's going to be a lot of money to be made. But alternatively, if the market was to break down and come to these levels here where we have a lot of confluence from previous runs, we got the 73K level here, we got the 69K level here, we also have a golden pocket there. If we were to come down to that level, that would be a buy zone for me. I do have some cash on the side. I am currently about 60% in the market and 40% in cash or, other safe investments. And I would be ready to buy heavily if we were to come down to this level here. I'm not saying it's a guarantee by any means. And the fact that Bitcoin's running now drastically decreases the chance of this happening. But we still have potentially a few months until a rate cut. May looks very unlikely to be a rate cut month. And then we have June, which seems like it will be the likely month of a rate cut, but it's still not necessarily a guarantee. So we have between now and June. You think there's not going to be any bit of chop between now and then? Because I think we are still going to range a bit. It's great to see what the market's doing, but I'm not, like I've said already in this video, I'm not arguing we're going to be straight to all-time highs on this run. I think there's going to be rejections and consolidation because we are still, in my opinion, very much in no man's land. When we had this structural drop below 91K, we entered no man's land because we have this massive run up here, unsustainable run up with very little consolidation and very little structure. Okay, it's just a straight upward god candle pretty much. And that causes a lot of uncertainty in the market when you come back to those levels because the market doesn't really know where to get a support level on. So it's kind of just chose this random level here, you know, in the mid 70s. The real support is lower than that. The real support is down here, outlined as the buy zone. Again, sometimes these things don't get hit. I remember when Bitcoin was at 15K in the bear market and I was buying heavily, a lot of people were saying, why are you buying at 15? It's a random number. There's no support. Buy at 13, buy at 10K. And those people were waiting for the perfect entry. They didn't get it. And they obviously had to FOMO back in at higher prices. Now, with the cash I have on the side, I would be entering higher risk positions if I saw us get to the breakout zone and get above it. But right now, I'm kind of heavily weighted towards more blue chip positions in my portfolio, one of them being SUI, which I do want to talk about a little bit in this video because SUI right now looks really, really strong. Okay. The chart to me looks very strong. It's had this really big, healthy run up where we got massive profits in the VIP group. Okay. I was getting into SUI around 70 cents. I know a ton of the VIP members were as well. So if you are interested in that, check out the VIP. You get my buy alerts, my sell alerts. There's a current sale available. If you click the link in the description and use code SAVE20. Okay. I'm doing a VIP live stream and a voice chat today. So you don't want to miss those types of things. But if we look at SUI here, it came down to the golden pocket. And as we're speaking right now, it's actually breaking out of the golden pocket, going for a new move higher. Now, it does look quite high on the daily stochastic RSIs, but when you zoom out and you look at the weekly, which is even more important for kind of mid to long-term structure, you can see that we are very much oversold on the weekly there with the stochastics. And we are also, quite interestingly, above the Gaussian channel now on the weekly as well with SUI. So I'm thinking SUI is going to do very, very well this cycle. It's just the beginning. If you look at some potential comparisons with the market cap, it looks very similar to what Solana was in the last bull run. Solana was around 7 billion, I think, during the summer crash. And then it got all the way up to like 80 billion during the November blow off top. So something similar could happen here with SUI, where it is at 7 billion right now. And we see it maybe above 50 or even above 80 billion when this market reaches a peak. So this would be the type of coin I would be going very heavy into with a portfolio right now. I wouldn't be going too heavy into the degen plays. However, once we get into this breakout zone, I will be looking at degen plays again. I will be probably dropping some lower cap buy alerts over in the VIP group. So you want to stay tuned for that because we have a tendency to do very, very well when it comes to low caps. We've made, 50Xs on Nakamoto Games this bull run. We've made 100Xs on Viot this bull run. We made 17Xs on Myria, just to name a few. So if you don't want to miss out on the next buy alerts, check out the VIP. Let me know as well in the comments. Do you feel like this? Okay, we are so back, but the market's just been going down forever, it feels. And then you see a slight, tiny little run up. Is that how you feel? Or do you feel this is actually the start of the next leg up in the bull run? Okay, I've already told you what I think. I think we're still under sideways chop until we get rate cuts. And then once we get rate cuts, we will be entering the massive peak and euphoria stage of the bull run. And if you look at July, the chance of a rate cut in July isn't necessarily a guarantee. It's almost 50-50. June is the month we're all pointing towards. So if we don't get a cut in June, it's more or less certainly going to be July. But I would expect at this point in time that June is the point of a cut. And we will get some form of a run into this FOMC, probably starting around the end of May. So that's my opinion on the market. But between now and then, we could even get as low as the buy zone or as high as the breakout zone. But I don't see an all-time high in the market until around that time of the rate cut. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Hit the likes, check out the VIP, and I'll see you all in the next market update video. Thank you and goodbye.